How about their lairs?
Yeah,
The
Lairs,
labyrinths.
Minotaur Lairs, definitely one of the coolest. They're awesome. Just like
It's
in
amazing.
general.
Yeah.
It's a maze. Like, that's just cool.
Yeah. And the reason why you might think, why do they like mazes so much? Well, of course, it's from Greek mythology. But the other main thing is Baphomet's plane, that the lair he's in is just a giant freaking maze.
Yeah.
It's a giant maze.
Well, I mean, it makes complete sense if you think about what they are. It's entirely in their advantage to be in a maze because they have dark vision, one, so it being pitch black gives them advantage over anything that wanders in. So there's that. They use their sense of smell as an entire replacement for vision too. They hunt purely on smell. They can, and so yet another way of
that
moving around a maze.
That's actually why they have their labyrinth recall thing, where they know every path like really well, is because of their smell. Because they can just turn behind, like I can smell where I came from. But like, let's say like if you gave a Minotaur like a map of a maze and solve it, they can't use their smell, but they're just really good at. They actually like puzzles, so they'll actually solve it really well. So they're actually just generally really good at mazes.
Yep, and that's the exact. That is the biggest reason why they are in mazes. Why they want to be in mazes is because they know where they are. They know where everywhere leads better than anything else could. So that gives them a huge advantage. If their prey runs away, they'll know right away. Well, I know where that corridor leads. I'm going this way, and I'll meet him over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
Something like that. So yeah, but mazes obviously are not naturally occurring.
Yeah, naturally occurring. Caves, Minotaurs with caves are actually kind of rare.
Well, no, that's not rare at all. Caves are basically the only naturally occurring mazes there are.
I mean, what I saw was forests. They'll just travel in like a forest, like a maze.
I mean, you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna see Minotaurs in the daylight because again,
they're not day hunters.
Is exactly their thing, and places where there is only a set path to go is also their thing because they've memorized it. You know what I mean? In a forest, something can just run forever. They'll run away.
Well, I mean, when I say forest, I mean like the dark woods of like, very deep forests. Maybe. That like you might see them, but I like caves. Like when I say caves, I don't mean they just stay there forever. I mean they sleep there. Like that's like their lair. But like if they go out hunting, they can go in forests at night.
Yeah, I'm sure they can.
They use so actually, they said like one of the only things that a Minotaur is scared of, which is pretty funny, owlbears.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because we'll talk about owlbears, but owlbears just do not like Minotaurs. Literally, just do not mess with them. Right. So like that's another thing that Minotaurs don't really like are owlbears.
I mean, nothing should mess with an owlbear.
No, because owlbears are like honey badgers, but the size of a rhino, and they're a bear and an owl. So they're scary. So they have to compete with food. So that's why they love labyrinth so much. Because owlbears not going in a labyrinth. They're like nah. So like that's why they love labyrinth so much, because it's the easiest hunting ground for themselves. They're the only ones that can do it. So that's why they like it so much. Forests are rare, as I say again. The only thing that really competes are owlbears, maybe a yeti if they're up north. Which is also rare.
But their lair, I mean, that's getting into their enemies and stuff. Which, I mean, there's always other creatures out there.
Exactly.
But there's still, and there's always competition. Like, there's a lot of other things that go in caves. Minotaur is just one of those things.
Yeah.
And the reason is because they can see in the dark, they can smell really well, and they can memorize paths. So they're looking for anything that's like a maze. Right?
Yeah. No, exactly.
And that's their lairs, pretty much. They're not trapped or anything. They just wait. They just sit there and wait, and it's like
they'll actually put like gold. Like they don't really value like magic or gold. That's kind of like their personality. They would rather much have like an axe than a magical knife.
Right.
Or even like a magical axe. They would be like, I want the normal axe. I hate they don't really like magic that much.
That's true.
That's true. So they would say they would hint at there's treasure in here to lure people in, and they die. Yeah. So
I think that's what you were getting into with other like goblinoids and stuff liking to trade with Minotaurs.
Yes.
Because they'll say, I don't want this magic stuff, take it, right? And the goblinoids are like, all right, we'll give you some food.
I know they're very confused. Like other goblins and orcs think they're stupid. They're like, why are you giving away this magical crap? And the Minotaur's like, I don't need it. and we'll get into the fun facts. after the common strategies. But like we'll talk more about their trade, what they trade, which is pretty funny. But yeah, so their lairs, labyrinths. Simple answer: mazes. Maybe forests.
Anything that resembles a maze.
Yes.
Which is normally a cave or ruins or something like that.
Ruins is a good one too. Like a destroyed fort. They could be in there too. You know, like a mansion or something. Mansions are mazes.
Interesting. Right.
That would be a cool setting.
That would be cool. Yeah, have a haunted house with or have like a Harry Potter staircase situation where there's a Minotaur and he's got all the stair shifts memorized.
Or kind of like what was it
I'm
called?
doing
Like
high magic stuff.
Kind of like that protection, that like picture. It's like the sixth like dimensional like where like there's stairs that like go through.
Oh, the optical illusion.
Yeah, the optical illusion. Just imagine a Minotaur would know where everyone goes. Yeah. So like you're kind of screwed.
That would probably break a Minotaur's brain though.
That probably would.
They'd be like, wait, that leads down and up at the same time.
yeah, no, that would. Yeah.
But yeah, lairs, mazes. Anything that's like a maze.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Should we talk about like what's in their lair? Just bodies.
Oh yeah, I mean that's true. You would find.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of treasure in the middle if you get lucky, very lucky, which is probably unlikely. But there's bodies, just bones.
Lots of bodies.
Blood.
No light. So.
Yeah, no light.
No light.
No light. Also, fun fact: there can be a little bit of demons. There's actually a demon based off of the Minotaur. I forget what it's called, but it's a big demon Minotaur. So there can be sometimes little demons that the Minotaur just doesn't even know about because Baphomet places them there.
I see.
Yeah, so little demons can be there. Oh, you'll see about like rats, scavengers. Minotaur might even eat them if he gets hungry enough. But so he just expect corpses, bodies. Their personal belongings would probably stay there unless it's like weapons or armor. Their value worth might just stay there unless it knows it's something magical to help it lure more prey.
Yeah.
So it'll move.
It kills something, eats its meat, takes its treasure, puts it in the middle.
Yeah.
Kills something, eats its meat, takes its treasure, puts it in the middle. And then it's like the stories build up. Hey, there's a lot of treasure in there, and then they just get more and more food.
Exactly. So that's what they want.
And they're not okay. If you were to take a Minotaur in the middle of daylight and fight it would be extremely hard. But now take a Minotaur in the darkness. You have disadvantage in everything you do. It doesn't, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a fight you don't want to be in.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You better just have your wizard in the back holding up a torch. Hey, guys.
Or maybe just
be
races that have dark vision.
That's true.
Which is like most of the races in D&D.
Yeah, but I don't think people pick their races purely on if they encounter.
But it's
Minotaur.
Only two races that don't. I think the only two races don't have dark vision are humans and Dragonborn, which I think it's stupid on the Dragonborn.
But Minotaurs still have the advantage in that they can move around the maze.
Oh yeah,
effectively. They'll go right to you.
Yeah.
And the second you enter that maze, they know you're there.
Also, Minotaurs will trap it too. They'll put traps in.
They're pretty stupid. I don't think
not as much as goblins.
Like I don't. If there's a trap in a Minotaur maze, that's extremely rare.
It's extremely rare. But like, let's say they killed someone that had a bear trap.
Oh, a bear trap.
They'll just place a bear trap and put it. Like they're not gonna have goblin level traps. Like they're not gonna have like slings or anything. But like if they find like physical traps that they can just do in one take like a bear trap, they would use bear traps.
They could figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like, or even if the labyrinth had traps, they would use it because they know everything about it. They could pull this lever and the walls turn. That's a little advanced.
They do have extremely high perception, so they would probably see traps.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, so combat strategies.
Hit and runs. That's what I kind of think.
Minotaurs?
Oh,
no running. Hit and hit again.
Well, yeah, but like when I say hit and run, I mean you hit them. I say hit and scare. You hit them, they flee. You wait out. You wait them out until they get tired and the rest of them, you finish them off.
Well, okay, there are definitely so the Minotaur is an awesome creature, and as a DM, you can totally just play the Minotaur strategically. But that would not be accurate to what a Minotaur would do, because Minotaurs are not strategic. In a couple ways they are. There's a couple ways, because they got that higher wisdom. But in general, they're not strategic. They're not gonna like hit and then like hide behind a corner and be like, okay, they're going down there to my bear trap. No.
Yeah, no.
They're just gonna hit you and then hit you again and hit you again until you're dead. And they doesn't take many hits by a Minotaur to kill you.
That is true. The thing is, another thing about them, do not like boast as a Minotaur. They think a quick kill is like efficient, so they'll just kill you. They're
Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
strike first. Yeah, strike hard. No mercy.
No mercy. Exactly, Cobra Kai. Another pretty rare thing is So do you know how like the damsel in distress?
Mm-hmm. Well, they take hostages.
They'll take slaves and hostages.
That is definitely rare, from what I.
It's very rare, but like that's another thing scary about when they gather together. They'll take slaves. They'll like take people. They say, "All right, king," or whoever.
I feel like just all evil things will take slaves.
That's general thing in D&D.
Like
but Minotaur, it's rare for them to because they're just so freaking hungry. But they can just eat them later. It's like that. Let's say Sir Gerald Knight, send 12 people. I got your wife. Just bring as much dudes as you want to. Mm-hmm. If it means food, they're like, just bring as many people as you want, homie. I got your wife in here.
All right, so let's break down a combat encounter that you would have with a Minotaur. So, is there anything to talk about? I got a few things relevant to before they even attack. Like, what are you doing as a Minotaur?
So, as a Minotaur, you're definitely stalking.
Right.
Yeah, I think they also eye out the weakest. They go after the weak first, just to kill them off. So, sorry, wizards.
Well, I actually would disagree. I don't think they do that at all. Well, I think they just go for the closest thing. I think they just say, you're right next to me, I'm killing you. They're not going to be like, I need to get around to the wizard.
No. Like, and let's say, if the party's all hunched together, they would go after, they would just run in and just start attacking.
And just hit the
But
first
let's
thing.
say if they spread out, they would go to the weaker one. Because it's easy food. It's easy prey. They are
so this is where their high perception comes in. It comes in two ways before the fighting starts. The first way is they have really good threat analysis, so they can look at a party and know, or just a group of anything, and know in general how strong that is. What are they dealing with? And this is one of the rare cases in which they will actually run, or they just will not attack, as if they see that the party will kill them. Like, it's way too strong. Minotaurs are actually smart enough to understand, if I attack, I will be killed. Therefore, I won't attack. Now, this is not all Minotaurs. These are like the ones that breed. These are like the animal ones.
Well, if you take the demons one, they're a lot stronger, but they're stupid. That's why in the Monster Manual they have a -2 intelligence. They're dumb.
But even the big one, it just depends on on what you kind of want this Minotaur to be doing, because you can take a demon Minotaur that was created by a cultist, and it can still end up becoming a more animal type creature. But you can also say that this cult created monster is more evil than it is animal. It's just straight up evil. And so if it is, it will probably just attack. And something Minotaurs do in general, like the bull, is they just get enraged by conflict. So, like, if they see something, perhaps prey, especially if they see that prey, like, fighting each other or something, they'll just get, like, drunk on the carnage of fighting. And they'll be like,
the chaos.
I just need to get involved. And they'll run in and kill things.
But the fighting itself is, like, chaos. And that's what Baphomet wants.
Yeah.
He wants chaos.
So that could drive a Minotaur to fight something that's stronger than them.
Yeah.
But, in general, I think that they are smart enough to know to run away.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, they're not super animals, but super animalistic. But I mean, what I've heard is that, like, if the party splits up, they go after the weak person who will die very quickly. They're very efficient of who they kill. So they're strategy. They're predators, so they'll go after the weakest thing. Like, if they split up. But like what you say, when they get drunk off of fighting, like, you can't control yourself. If they're together, you just charge in. You want to rack them kills. But like, if they split up and they're not fighting, they actually get to think. They go after the weakest normally.
Okay, go after the weakest, and then
if they split up,
they're basically strategic up until the fight. So they will ambush them at the perfect time. They'll use their maze. to just wait until the party or whatever prey is there exactly where they want them to be, and they will strike exactly how they want to strike. But once they are in that fight, they get too high on the carnage, and they will just go insane. And just as a DM, if you want to be accurate to how a Minotaur would fight, throw out strategy and attack the first thing that's in front of you.
Also, they fight to the death if they go in the fight.
This again can depend on how much animal you versus evil you put in.
Right. I mean, I'm talking like the demon.
If you got like full-blown demon Minotaur, yeah, sure, it can fight to the death. But you can also, if you would like your Minotaur to do this, you can make it the more animal type. And animals, if they're like on the brink of death or hurt, will run away. So if they realize, I'm going to lose, they'll leave. And so you kind of get to choose that as a DM. You can go either way with that.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. So what would be the strategy for killing? Like, what would a Minotaur do to kill? They're not going to cast spells, right?
Yeah, so if the party splits up, they go after the weakest one. So they'll normally charge in.
Yeah, let's say they've picked a target.
The thing is, they don't even, like, stealthily charge. They announce they charge.
Oh, yeah.
Before the party they'll hear a roar, and then they'll charge.
Yeah, that normally is an ambush, though, because, I mean, your party doesn't really have time to do anything.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
But they'll charge in, they'll do their trampling charge. I'm not sure if it's called trampling charge, but that's, like, normally what it's called, that, like, feat. Okay. So they'll use their trampling charge, they'll run in. Hopefully they'll knock down the first person in front of them, knocking them really back. When that happens, they use their great axe and they hit. And then after that, they'll just keep hitting.
Yeah. So you get hit by the gore attack. Plus ram. The extra damage of being rammed. And then they will likely knock you down unless you're strong. And then while you're down, they'll take their great axe and try to kill you and finish the job. If you get up, they'll just hit you.
No, but the thing is, so a lot of people in D&D, like, when your character goes down, like, they, like, the monster might seem, you're not a threat anymore, so I'll go kill the other people, down them. Minotaurs, they will kill you. Like, they will, like, doesn't matter if someone's standing right next to you, they will.
Yeah, you were unlucky enough to get chosen or be closest to the Minotaur. Yeah. Therefore, it is now trying to kill you, and it will try to trample you. That's its gore attack.
It will make sure you're dead before even attacking the other people.
Right.
Yeah. So, unless the wizard says Shazam and lightning bolt pisses off the Minotaur.
I mean, it can be strategic, but if the fighter's in the front and the Minotaur hits the fighter, the Minotaur will probably just stick with the fighter for now.
They'll stick with the fighter unless
they'll stick with whoever they stick with.
The thing is, they're all about the rage. So if anyone pisses off the Minotaur more, the Minotaur will go after them.
That is a good thing to know.
That is actually,
if you want to save one of your companions, you got to pull the red cape out.
Yeah, the red cape. If you want to save your friend, be that rogue that throws a knife in its back and says, "Woohoo!" Starts messing with it. It will get pissed at you and chase you. So basically, if no one makes it angry, if they're surprised, it kills the person in the ground. If someone makes it pissed, it goes after the guy who makes it pissed.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. So that's kind of like
and that's pretty simple.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Yeah, I'd say playing a Minotaur well in combat is really all about getting that perfect moment to strike. And from there, just being relentless. Put it in like a
dead end.
Like, know exactly who's about to die and kill them. Attempt to end that player, right? Yeah. That's how a Minotaur would go.
Yeah.
Like don't give any mercy to anyone. If you're just beating someone every turn and they're just hit points down, and they're about to be dead,
kill them.
Keep going until they are dead.
Yeah. Which is really scary.
And maybe even use a turn to hit them an extra time if you don't even need to. That could be just an extra
hit
flare.
Their body.
Yeah, just hit their body. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Well, I mean, hopefully it's a low on a party, but if some wizard drops the 40 hit point lightning ball.
Yeah.
Or or if the fighter does his action surge and does 20 damage, that'll piss it off,
Yeah, that's true. If you get someone that just really
did a lot of damage, it will piss off the Minotaur.
Yeah.
One cool thing is that some people even give the Minotaur regeneration.
That's crazy.
So that's Baphomet's that's Baphomet himself picked up a cultist and gave it to him himself, just physically there. That's when you get the demon Minotaur, the bad boys.
Right.
Yeah, the bad ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So those will keep beating you. I'm
pretty sure they can regenerate 10 hit points a turn.
Okay.
And you can't kill them unless you do, I don't think it was Radiant. It was Radiant. It's Radiance. So you actually need like a paladin if you're fighting like a bad Minotaur, you know.
Yeah,
normal Minotaurs
a normal Minotaur is hard enough.
Imagine when that heals. That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to go into fun facts now about the Minotaur?
Yeah, if you got nothing else on one more thing in terms of their reckless feat. So charge they will do. The first thing they do will charge. Always use charge. Reckless, if they are in their cave, they won't use reckless because they are ambushing them, and if you think just strategically wise as the DM, it is not smart to do it because if you already have advantage on a surprise attack, right? Mm-hmm. So use that, so you don't need reckless. And to use reckless would just give all the players advantage on you next on their attack, and they have disadvantage because it's dark, unless they don't have disadvantage. But most of the time they might have disadvantage. And so to use reckless would just be to get a double advantage in your attack, which doesn't exist, right? There's no point. And then to take away that disadvantage of people.
Also, you
would never use it if you're in the dark caves.
Well, no, that makes sense because if you knock someone down, you have advantage on prone things. So that's why it's scary to be prone when there's a Minotaur there.
Oh, very bad.
Because when they knock you down, they don't need reckless; they'll just beat you with advantage.
And if you want to use, reckless is to be used, and it's to be used when the Minotaur, I'd say, has taken some damage. And you're playing it as a character, and a Minotaur, as it gets more think of like the Hulk. It's just gonna start getting careless and just wanting to kill everything, right? Yeah. It's gonna feel the pain and say I'm killing everything. So then you can start using reckless and start trying to kill.
Yeah. No, that's
but the initial attack should not be reckless.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Anything else for combat strategies?
No, that was actually really good, though. I totally forgot about Reckless.
Yeah.
Another thing, if the people start to run, chase them.
Oh, yeah.
Just kill them.
Yeah, unless you got...
It's actually pretty dumb
unless they left their rogue there for you to kill, then just continue stomping the rogue.
Rip the rogue. But, kill the rogue. Actually, kill the rogue, eat them. Regenerate your hit points, take like a rest.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to really get out.
And you know the only exit, and you know exactly where they have to be to get to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you... And the thing is, like, they can even, like... They even know where the players are, too. They can smell them. That's why they have such a high perception.
Right.
Like, literally in the labyrinth, like, if they're eating, taking, like, a chill time, if they know the players are close to the exit, they'll start walking. They'll start going to the exit.
Mm-hmm.
Block them.
Oh, yeah. No, exactly. So, yeah. Escaping a Minotaur should not be easy.
No, not at all.
All right. So, that's combat.
All right, that's combat.